Last night I had me a old fashioned with the cherry and the orange peel smoked. On top of that, I had me, a 6-piece wang. I ain't had no cigar, but you know what I mean? I had some peace, love, and happiness. And I was sitting there watching the debate as if it was a sporting event. Seriously, it was like Holyfield and Mike Tyson and me. I'm like, yo, round one, let's get it. But it turned out to be exactly like I thought it was going to be, man. Exactly like I thought it was going to be.
Well, my friends, Kamala Harris deserves an Academy Award for gaslighting, deflecting, and dancing around all of those questions. The debate just ended and Kamala Harris did not answer any of my questions. She's been there for 4 years as vice president. She's been a part of the Democratic elite for decades. Why haven't they fixed these issues? Kamala Harris, now she wants to act all rough and tumble on the border. You were put in charge of the border back in 2021, then oversaw the worst immigration crisis in American history. I have questions. Now, Kamala Harris, she had a rough start in the debate. She was like one of those beat up old jalopies in the Walmart parking lot that takes a few minutes to get going. Objectively speaking, you guys know I'm not owned by the RNC, the DNC. I just call it like I see it. David Muir, the other woman, I don't know her name, and Kamala Harris, it was 3 against 1. Many of these folks on television, they're just Democrat operatives posing as pundits, okay? David Muir could not hide his own political leanings. He cut off Donald Trump. He never fact-checked Kamala Harris. He was combative and argumentative with Donald Trump, moreover. Now, my takeaway from tonight that no one seems to want to talk about, it took Kamala Harris 40 days to do a sit-down interview with her vice president sitting next to her, and the interview lasted less than 20 minutes on a friendly network. Then she took 5 days to hole up with no events to prepare for this debate and memorize her lines. What the heck's gonna happen if there's a crisis and Kamala Harris has to run down to the Situation Room as commander-in-chief and make a decision in 6 minutes? They're gonna be like, Kamala, what is the answer? And she's gonna say, you know what, give me about 5 days. I'm gonna go relax, get a foot rub, get my nails done, convene with my team. Let me think about it. In life, sometimes you gotta make tough choices. You can't say, you know what, I'm not feeling it today. I need a few days off. You have to get in the ring, do the work, and get it done. Another moment that stuck out to me was when Donald Trump discussed getting shot at 2 months ago in Butler, Pennsylvania on July 13th, and they interrupted him and cut him off. The moderators, if we can even call them that, they didn't even bother hiding their own political leanings. Now, during the debate, Kamala Harris dropped some new facial expressions, which I'm sure she rehearsed with her team in the 5 days she was holed up in a hotel room. Not so ironically, this is also the face millions of Americans have when they go to the grocery store and see the price of eggs and milk. I know the stars on ABC have multi-million-dollar contracts and they sit around their studios in New York City, but I don't think they have their finger on the pulse of how millions of Americans are feeling. A majority of Americans right now are hurting. The last thing I'll say is I was invited to an event tonight in Philadelphia by the Trump campaign. They had a bunch of MAGA influencers and they included me. I'm an independent. I'm not owned by anybody, and they couldn't have been more welcoming. I obviously dressed in an homage to Trump, but I have to say I've never been welcomed like that in those Democratic elite circles by ABC News or anybody in the liberal media establishment. Now, Kamala Harris, she just announced she wants another debate. She wants a round 2. I hope they do it on Fox News or another network other than ABC. All right, my friends, I haven't slept. I have a flight in the morning. Thanks for liking and following. Drop a comment. Tell me what you thought of the debate. Did you think the moderators were biased? How do you think Donald Trump did? How do you think Kamala Harris did? I will see you on the next one. Bye.
I watched that debate from beginning to end, and I'll say that I think that Kamala Harris did disastrous, but not for the low vibrational people. And I know that sounds like I'm targeting, but I have to be honest. Watching that debate, she did not answer a single question. All she did was fill it in with filler and theatrics. How can you do this and this mother over here suffering this and that type of thing. And I was just sitting back like, man, the people who don't know anything about what's really happening behind the scenes and only hear things on a surface level, Kamala Harris is eating Donald Trump up in that category. Just with the, oh, he's just lying and this, that, and the third. You got people watching the TV going, oh, she's just eating him up. And I'm watching like, no, she's not answering a single question. But Donald Trump also isn't feeding the low vibrational people. He isn't saying certain things that will obviously, how do I say, put them at ease. You know, he brought up the Central Park Five and they was looking for an apology. He wasn't finna get ready to apologize for that. But I would have loved for him to go, hey, look, man, they happen to be black. But they also said that they was guilty. And when they said that, we all thought they was guilty. And I felt this way. And then they said they wasn't guilty, whoop, 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 you know, but it is what it is. I think he held his own, though. Dev did a great job of standing up for himself. And because the moderators definitely were not in his favor. They did not try to check anything Kamala Harris was saying, like anything. And, you know, it's been reported that the earrings that she used literally were Bluetooth, and she was getting fed responses via her earrings. We don't know how true that is just yet. We're gonna check it out. But in the meantime, why won't Kamala say if the economy is better off now than it was 4 years ago? Because it's not.
When it comes to the economy, do you believe Americans are better off than they were 4 years ago?
So I was raised as a middle-class kid.
Vice President Harris was asked if she believes Americans are better off now than they were 4 years ago. And frankly, as you pointed out, she didn't answer the question.
Not only was she not answering questions, but she also decided to interrupt. And Lord knows I appreciate Donald Trump for this, because the people who are Kamala Harris supporters are going to watch it and go, no, he didn't. I can't believe he said that. But look, Kamala Harris had said this, which she has in the past, which makes, you know, why I say this is genius on Trump's part. She has said it in the past, but because Trump said it, it's just vicious and vile and against women.
Please. In Minnesota, she went out. Wait a minute. I'm talking now. If you don't mind, please. Does that sound familiar?
But I woke up today, out of curiosity, I wanted to turn on the radio. Lately, I've been listening to, like, you know, in the morning time, I listen to anything biblical or like a lot of stoicism, just to kind of get my mind together. But this morning, I knew for a fact I was going to be tuning in and see what the world had to say. And all the radio hosts, all of them, maybe last one. Oh, she ate him up. Trump was chewed up, chewed out. Woo, 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 woo. And all he wanted to do was this and that and this, that, and third. He brought up her father and wanted to talk about her dad and da, 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 da. Like, I'm going like, man, but she didn't answer anything, you know? And I feel like she lost personally. Trump definitely, I ain't gonna say he just excelled in this debate personally. You know, I won't say that. But I definitely feel like he won. She lost the chance. You know, Kamala, she won't talk to the press because she can't talk about any of the policies on the left or the far left whatsoever. All of it has to be fed to and manufactured in some sort of way to fit the current time, you know, to get votes in. She only attacks Donald Trump, and she missed out one opportunity to explain why she isn't just so a radical Californian, as somebody pointed out. Now, as I was, you know, going through all of the videos today, even ABC reacted to this and said how they felt about her explaining her policy. Nobody even knows what her policy is. What is it?
Vice President Kamala Harris did not do a great job today really explaining her policy shifts, right? And that is what they have been seizing on. They're really trying to define her for voters when voters have a lot of questions about her policy positions.
Yeah, policy positions are the reason why we vote for the people, right? Policy positions is the reason why we support Trump. It wasn't just because of Trump. That's what the left wants you to believe. So yes, we want to know policy positions, duh. You know, but she don't have any. She has somebody says she has a lot of free stuff so people will like her. Guess what, people? Who do you think pays for all the free stuff? Us, the taxpayers, okay? She never intended to explain the policies, and she did it. And that's what I was saying. Like, she was using nothing but theater. It was nothing but theater. Oh, you know, he's for fear-mongering. He's this and he's that. And Donald Trump is actually talking about real policy, real issues. But to for the people who brainwash, they don't want to hear about the real issues. They want to be wild. They want to go, ooh, yeah, they think they think this debate is about actually winning when it's about trying to get to the root of these issues and finding out whether you agree or not. It's about the truth. That's it. Oh my God. I want y'all to watch this video. It says Kamala Harris was talking about what she plans to do while Trump is talking about what he has done and what he continues to plan. Let's go ahead and check it out.
You know what the most interesting thing was about the debate between Trump and Kamala on ABC? It was the fact that Kamala Harris was talking about what she plans to do, while Trump was talking about what he has done and what he continues to plan to do if he is able to regain the White House. This is a very important contrast because all too often individuals, before they go vote, they're thinking about the latest thing that they heard, the latest soundbite. And of course, Kamala Harris is very good at speaking in sound bites. So is Donald Trump, to his credit or lack thereof. But what I will tell you is this. Kamala Harris pretends as if she has not been in a position of leadership for the past 3.5 years, and she wants to chart a new path forward. She says she does not want to go back. She says she wants to turn the page and wants to understand how we got to where we are. She said that multiple times during the debate. Make no mistake. She is the reason why we are where we are as a country, in large part. Trump mentioned that he doesn't even know where Biden is. Many people would agree with him on that notion. But the fact is, Trump was talking about what he already did in his first term, what he planned to do, while all Kamala Harris could do was make facial expressions against Donald Trump, attempts to attack his character as usual, attempt to attack the nature of the crowd sizes that he's able to draw at rallies, and attack everything about the person without laying out adequately what her plan is beyond the basic hollow platitudes that she just recently released on her website. So the fact of the matter is, Trump was talking about what he plans to do and what he already did, while Kamala Harris, while being in charge right now, still thinks that the proper messaging would be to talk about what she plans to do without acknowledging the fact that she had 3.5 years to do so in the first place.
Now, to be fair, she could have did the same exact thing Trump was doing. You know, she has been in office for the last 3.5 years, but it's only convenient that she is able to make change as the vice president when it only fits their narrative. You know, she can be the deciding factor in the vote one day, and the next day she has no power because she's just there to support the president, right? They continue to move the market, man. Somebody said Trump went into enemy territory, debated 3 people, and was still standing strong in the end. That's leadership, that's strength, that's our president. She was talking about what she plans to do despite having the 3.5 years to do these things. Trump did those things in 4 years. In the 4 years that he had, Kamala did zip. And now she's not capable of anything at all. Totally agree with that, man. Like, I don't understand, bro. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand, dog. Like, you know what I mean? Just look around you. Okay, let's talk about how you feel. It's just, you know, we try to go over facts, over feelings over here, but let's talk about how you feel. How do you feel about your pockets? How do you feel when you go to that grocery store and realize you can't get the same thing you used to get, huh? I don't understand, man. Anyhow, I did enjoy this part of it. Donald Trump had challenged Kamala Harris on live TV to go down to the White House. She was just like, I can't remember what he said. He said something like, go wake Biden up. But Donald Trump challenged Kamala Harris on live TV to go to the White House, wake Joe Biden up, sign a bill to close the border down tonight. And this might have just won the entire the entire debate. Honestly, Trump, she could have won if she would have just did that. Like, but she's not.
Why are we allowing these millions of people to come through on the southern border? How come she's not doing anything? And I'll tell you what I would do, and I would be very proud to do it. I would say we would both leave this debate right now. I'd like to see her go down to Washington, D.C. during this debate because we're wasting a lot of time. Go down to, because she's been so bad, it's so ridiculous. Go down to Washington, D.C. and let her sign a bill to close up the border because they have the right to do it. They don't need bills. They have the right to do it. The president of the United States, you'll get him out of bed. You'll wake him up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. You'll say, come on down to the office. Let's sign a bill. If he signs a bill that the border is closed, all he has to do is say it to the Border Patrol, who are phenomenal. If they do that, the border is closed.
Mr.
Those
President,
people are killing many people, unlike J6.
We talked immigration here tonight.
I seriously think the best thing that this woman could do that could even change the hearts of even some conservatives is actually taking this opportunity now to go do all of the things that she's been claiming she's going to do as she campaigns while she has the power. You know what I mean? Like, just make it happen. She didn't even disagree. Did you notice? Oh, my gosh. Let's read a few of these. There should be no doubt in anyone's mind that she is woefully incapable of leading a nation. He is losing his debate badly, and I'm a supporter, somebody wrote. I disagree, but if we're talking about a particular perspective, I could agree. Again, to the people who don't care about policy and only care about sound bites, he definitely lost to those people for sure, because he was making too much sense and it wasn't flashy. Somebody says, I want to know why she was allowed to have paper and pen. I'm pretty sure that was to make sure that she can maintain her talking points or keep up with what. I know when I'm having conversations with people, I'd be wishing I had some paper, because I'd be having to shut up and letting them finish what they need to say, but I want to remember everything that they said. It'd be hard. Let's check this out, though. George just posted a new CNN post that shows Kamala Harris has lost support of voters on who they trust to handle the economy. And Trump has gained. It says pre-debate, Trump is at 53% and Kamala was at 37%. And post-debate, Trump is now at 55% and Kamala is at 35%. They are definitely panicking for sure. This is actually a great picture right here, if y'all can see in the comment section, of what the debate looked like. This is exactly what Trump was up against right here. You can see that it was everybody against this man. You know what I mean? You had Kamala. I can't even remember everybody else. I'm assuming that's probably the owner of the network and the other guy who was interviewing, but definitely somebody says, let's read a few of these. So on the left, an old white guy alone and ranting, and on the right is a group more representative of America, inclusive, multiracial, and happily working together. Somebody says, international loser chiming in, who doesn't even live in the USA, go back to ruining your own. Ouch, okay. Let's get up out of here. It's violence. It needs comments. What did this debate do to the undecided voters? Well, we know that Taylor Swift recently endorsed, well, she directly after the debate endorsed Kamala Harris, but another undecided Pennsylvania voter just said that Trump made a great point by asking Kamala why she didn't do all the things that she's promising in the 3 years that she's been in office. Quote, Donald Trump made a strong closing statement by saying, why don't they do all the things that she's proposing during the 3.5 years that they've been in office, end quote. Do you feel the energy? Is what's being asked. Trump won the debate, and they're only asking to do another one because they lost, is the assumption. Check it out.
She just basically repeated everything that Biden has said in the past.
What were your thoughts?
She made... Donald Trump made a strong closing statement by saying, why didn't they do all the things that she's proposing during the 3.5 years that they've been in office? And Biden did this entire moderate stance back in 2020, and she's trying to do it again in 2024, but she didn't talk about her policy changes between 2020 and 2024. Her whole centrist moderate stance is just a facade.
So she just started by saying she's going to do this, she's going to do that, she's going to do all these wonderful things. Why hasn't she done it? She's been there for 3.5 years. They've had 3.5 years to fix the border. They've had 3.5 years to create jobs and all the things we talked about. Why hasn't she done it? She should leave right now, go down to that beautiful White House, go to the Capitol, get everyone together and do the things you want to do, but you haven't done it and you won't do it because you believe in things that the American people don't believe in. You believe in things like, we're not going to frack. We're not going to take fossil fuel. We're not going to do things that are going to make this country strong, whether you like it or not. Germany tried that, and within 1 year, they were back to building normal energy plants. We're not ready for it. We can't sacrifice our country for the sake of bad vision. But I just ask one simple question. Why didn't she do it? We're a failing nation. We're a nation that's in serious decline. We're being laughed at all over the world. All over the world, they're laughed. I know the leaders very well. They're coming to see me. They call me. We're laughed at all over the world. They don't understand what happened to us as a nation. We're not a leader. We don't have any idea what's going on. We have wars going on in the Middle East. We have wars going on with Russia and Ukraine. We're going to end up in a third world war, and it'll be a war like no other because of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. I rebuilt our entire military. She gave a lot of it away to the Taliban. She gave it to Afghanistan. what these people have done to our country, and maybe toughest of all is allowing millions of people to come into our country. Many of them are criminals, and they're destroying our country. The worst president, the worst vice president in the history of our country.
I really wish I had the time and the space to play the closing statement. You know what? I could add the close. I'll probably have to download the video because I can't add it in here right now. Anyhow, assuming that the closing statements is already played at this moment, because I'm gonna have to do some double editing. I'm glad that he brought this up. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that he brought up, why are you saying you're gonna do this and do that, but you haven't done it in the last 3.5 years? That is the strongest argument, because it's like, if you have somebody sitting there going, hey man, vote for me, look, you vote for me, I'll close this border up. And that same person has the ability to go close that border. It's like, do you trust them? I can't.